let me introduce you. Damn. Holy, taking right over.
She's ready.
I'm just the mom.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are the Aboriginal Outlaws. I'm Sugar Bear.
I'm Joshua.
Thank you so much for tuning into the best voice in podcasting. Now, this lady, I've been wanting her on the show for a long time. And honestly, it's hard to even just say what it is she does. She does so much. A farmer, a business owner, a mom, an activist, a badass. Honestly, you're so adorable, but you will fuck me up. I want to just call you Honeybadger.
Fuck off.
That's going to be the name of this episode.
But I'm so happy we finally got her on the fucking amazing, the crazy, the badass, the determined, and the strong-willed Chrissy Jacobs. How you doing?
I'm all right. I'm here. Down a sketchy road. Just kidding. It's only a couple miles. It's only a couple miles down from my favorite place. So.
Yeah. What's your favorite place?
Landback Camp.
Oh, yeah. We're on the same road.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is Sovereignty Way.
Yeah.
Sort of.
It is.
Sovereignty Way.
I love it. I love it out this side. So.
Yeah. We're taking it back.
Yeah,
now, what is a Landback Camp? Can you explain that to our listeners and viewers?
Freedom. I don't know how to really put it into words. It's for me, it's a healing place. I went out there to camp with my friend Jackie. I think you have had her on the show. Or actually, you have. And
Yeah, we have.
We had gone out there with our kids in the beginning, and it was just two moms and a ton of kids, and we start clearing out land. Her and her husband did most of it, and I just kind of was like trying to support my friend. Like, if she needed mowing, I would load up a tractor and go down there and unload it and mow and try to help her out and bring, what do you call them, like limb cutters, all that stuff. And but
we also have to say log splitter.
Yeah.
Chrissy Jacobs is a log splitter.
No, I can't.
I forgot to say that.
A lumberjack.
I can't because there's actual video of me trying to cut the same block of wood for like 20 tries and I couldn't split it. So we can't say I'm a log splitter.
You think we're big? Even we struggle. Sometimes you get the right one. It's just like...
Maybe it was the axe.
Yeah.
Maybe it was the axe. But,
it was the axe for sure.
So for me, Landpack Camp is, it's really a thorn in the side of Canada.
Good.
You know, they don't want to ever see us take anything back because they don't want to admit that they took anything, right? So I'm really proud of that little piece of property. And I've done a lot of stuff out there with my kids. Like, we found medicine out there. We found old apple orchard. We've documented wildlife. What else have we done? Like, obviously camping. And I mean, in the 2020s, taking a group of kids that are in this world, it's a big deal to go take them where there's no goddamn Wi-Fi, right?
Right.
Like, they will never forget that. So whenever I say I'm going to camp, everyone's like, do we gotta go? And I'm like, no, not this time. But when I went out there, I was in a really hard place in my life. I had lost my father, and he really suffered. So by the time he passed, I was just really down and out, and everything in Akwesasne reminded me of him. You know, like he was somebody who was a judge in a community for a long time. Even though I don't believe in that system, I had to respect that he loved his people, that he would go take criticism every week at tribal court. And I mean, Bears Den reminded me of him, freaking chocolate chip muffins and a coffee, like just all these things, right? And I just wanted to get away, but it was COVID. Where was I gonna go? Where was I gonna go that wasn't gonna...
So you literally had to go back to the land.
Yeah, to heal myself and to get my footing. And
that's powerful.
And I did. So that's why I said I can't even really put into words what Landback Camp is to me. Like, I was really, I don't want to say I was losing it, but I was really sad and I was really angry. And it's a really dangerous combination.
You know, you can just call it your safe space.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, it's a safe space, even though we were under constant threat and observation of the RCMP and, you know, the cottagers in Quebec.
It
and
seems like you
CBSA.
always seem to find a place
I
where you're under
tried.
constant threat. So I'm starting to think maybe that's your common goal.
It's
There's
not a
always
goal,
gonna be
though.
an
I'm trying to
asshole
go-
that shows up like.
I literally just try to like go find a calm, safe space and be all zen, and
Yeah.
then somebody fucked up shows up,
And
and
then
then
a
they gotta
fly
get dealt
has
with.
to get in the fucking ointment.
We didn't start this fire, motherfucker, but we're going to show ourselves with some gasoline on
I
it.
better back up from this microphone, so I'm gonna get a little louder. When I get
It's
worked up.
all good.
That's fine.
Keep it
That's
loud.
what you got to do. We could turn your mic down. You get as loud as you got.
That's right. I have to turn
right.
everybody else's mic down.
That place really holds a special place in my heart, and I've been trying to figure out how I would move like my house there, like.
I mean, this is the North Country. People move
No,
houses.
I mean, and I know somebody who can move buildings and stuff. So I was like,
Fucking Josh is cracking open his butt heavy.
it is not.
It isn't.
But I mean, if I could afford to move a building down there, I would go live down there, and then I
Yeah.
would just commute to work. But I'm not enough.
You know, Gordy knows enough people that we're crazy enough to just have a trailer on each side, and we're just like, everyone drive at the same fucking
We're
time.
just gonna put it on logs and push it. If it takes all summer, it's gonna happen because Chrissy said.
Yeah, where else in the world do people regularly like fucking move buildings? And you know a guy. In 3 phone calls, I could have someone move a building.
You want to know what? I've actually done
man.
that recently.
Yeah, I know. You took your uncle's home, didn't you? It's like, it's just you can patch up that hole. Let me have the house. And then,
I bought it off him for frickin' peanuts. God bless that man, and I don't believe in God. He knew what I wanted a building for,
right.
and he respected that enough that he said, "Well, how much money you got?" And I said, "I don't know, like a couple grand." And he said, "Good enough. Take it, because I know what you're gonna do with it. I know it's gonna be for the kids, right?"
Wow.
And he was a residential school survivor, so he thought it was really important that young children in the community would stay with a community member, would stay with me. And he's the last surviving great uncle, aunt, like that generation from my dad's father's family. And so I'm really honored that he sold it to me for what he did. Like, I couldn't even get a car for what I had. And it cost more to move it 3 driveways than it did to buy the house.
Yeah.
But
You at 37 shut down for like a half hour.
I know. So when people,
No, you didn't. I was just fucking with you.
I really did.
Hell yeah.
But
Hell
they were
yeah.
really, but
They
they
can go
were
around.
really quick though. It was maybe like only 15 minutes. We didn't shut it down for very long.
It was 40 Amish people with.
Of course, they just lifted it right up.
They just
and
lifted
walked.
So if traffic's backed up, I'm like, either Chrissy's protesting or she's moving a house. I don't know what she's doing.
Mind your business.
You did join me on my crusade that one time, and I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
That's really when I got to, because I only knew you in passing because my kids, they went to East Oz Helpers,
Yeah.
East Oz Little Helpers, sorry.
Yeah, it's okay.
But, yeah, when you stood out there with me when I was protesting fentanyl and you brought the whole damn tribe with you, I was like,
That was like
Wow.
a couple of parents that I probably cared for their kids. So,
yeah.
it was who could that day.
She showed up with her bus.
and other
all the
vehicles.
kids.
I gotta say, I love seeing her drive that big ass truck.
Gordon said I had to get a van, and I was like, I ain't getting a fucking van.
You got the van.
So I was like, I saw that, and I went, I'll get that
Yeah.
van.
Which van
There
is
you
it?
go.
It's that big white Nissan.
Yeah.
It's like a commercial sign.
So it's like a
It's like
Nissan.
a tank.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I begged for ramp bars.
Nissan
He
full.
won't put them on.
You should.
I want
Paint
them
it camouflage.
so bad.
And bulletproof windows.
I'm telling you, I want to, because sometimes I'll pull up somewhere and people think there's going to be like 10 big Indians jump out. It's literally just me.
Yeah.
Like, hi.
But you fill a room either way. And we
So-
appreciate that.
So yeah, I with the whole no regulation moving building, I did that. I didn't ask permission. I got
You didn't talk to compliance? No way.
I got issued letters unofficially that I needed to ask for a building permit. I'm like, it's already built.
Oh, really? They're doing that already?
Well, this is when they first passed the building codes, and I just kind of laughed it off. And then there was there was such a shit show. So I moved the house. I spent like my measly life savings. I had to borrow money off my mother. Shout out to Colleen Burns, the Iron
We
Bank
love you,
of
Colleen.
Aquasasset.
Hell yeah.
Like,
Hell yeah.
I am truly an Indian with no credit. So, what's that?
Could be worse. You could have just 4. A credit score of 4.
I did at one time.
It's 0.
Yeah, mine was 4.
That's fine.
They're like, you don't exist. I'm like, I'm standing right here.
The fact that he had a 4 is worse than 0 because they're like, not only do you exist, according to us, you didn't even try.
Yeah, maybe that's worse. But yeah, so I battled some stuff. And, I'm glad you said determined because that's a word I appreciate in my life because
Absolutely.
people think I'm just disrespectful, but it's not. And I had a vision for what I knew I needed to do. And man, it was a battle and a half. I would take care of kids all day. I'd get done work. And I would work on that building with my husband till 1, 2 in the morning, and we'd go to work the next day again.
Yeah.
And we did almost everything ourselves. Like, I didn't know how to do the plumbing, so Mohawk Plumbing came in, but we did the flooring, the painting, like, everything ourselves. And we had 2 weeks to do it at the end because I was getting, I was being asked to vacate the place I was renting for the business, for the daycare. So they told me I had like 2 weeks to get out. I had no flooring. I still had a hole in a wall. I had like no help. So my husband helped me. My mom watched the kids. And we smashed that shit out. And I shit you not, our plumbing and all new pipes and our water line was getting put in the Friday. And we were opening on Monday. So the paint was like still drying.
Yeah.
Like Sunday night. And we did it though. So there was no interruption to my current clients at the time. Like I closed Friday at one place and I popped up and opened at the new spot. Oops, on Monday.
That's okay. That's tricky.
And so what happened was because I didn't ask for permission and I was told I couldn't get hooked up to the water line. It had to be at my own cost. And I'm obviously not a fucking millionaire. So I had to borrow money off my family, like off my mom's Burns family number 9, and to pay to get the water hooked up, like, and I had to pay that off, like, so I might not have credit or get loans, but I have really good family where I can borrow money, and then I obviously got to pay back, and so that's all paid off, so I don't owe anything else, but so I paid to get my water line hooked up, which shouldn't have been shut off in the first place because we already had it hooked up to that lot, but the tribe labeled it as like abandoned, vacated, because we used to have a house and garage there and it burnt. Oh, yeah. So anyways, they took it off. So I had to pay to get it hooked back up. You know, the water line people, they were really great. Like they tried their best to troubleshoot with me. It's just it had to be at my own cost. So we did that, and then it was you can't get power. You need a occupancy deed from the tribe. Right. Big fucking issue because I don't believe in owning land. And I mean, obviously, I live in places like my property in Snai. I don't own. I own the building. I don't own the land. It's a family. Let us put it there. Where my daycare was my father's family's land. I don't own that either. I just am using it because I'm just using the land when I'm alive, right? And my house I live in, I don't own that either. So I don't have any deeds for anything. But I'm existing. I'm using. I'm working. Whatever. So they said I couldn't get power because I didn't have an occupancy deed. And I was like, well, what do I need to get an occupancy deed? Like, what the fuck? Well, you know, you do probate court. So we did that just to honor my father because he believed in that system. And that's where he put all his stuff. But then there's the financial hardship of they want you to get the land surveyed.
Yep.
What the fuck do I need a survey for? You already have the survey map at the tribal building. Why do you cause this financial hardship for people? And there's no longer a program where you pay $100 to get a survey.
They're making it better tomorrow. At your expense.
If you-
their
Because
survey
they
maps.
want you to play ball.
If you can afford it.
Yeah.
They want you to
So-
play ball.
No, they're all about our culture. Don't forget.
But I still, in my freaking bones, don't believe in owning the land, right? I'm just supposed to be a caretaker of it. And people get mad when I say
May I
this.
ask why? And that's your business. If you don't want to go there, you
No,
don't have to,
I
but
will go
just-
there because people
Sure,
think
sure,
I'm
sure.
freaking crazy.
Because technically, we're landowners.
No, everybody, like,
Actually,
you're a
you're not.
landowner.
You're not.
Yes, I am.
Nope. You have an occupancy deed. You do not have an ownership
You
deed.
don't own the land.
The tribe owns the
All
land.
right, all right, all right. Yeah.
So,
okay, yeah.
okay, so the
Explain it
reason
to
why
me.
I don't want to own land is because if I own land, it means that I'm agreeing with the imposed system of government that told Indians they had to ask permission to occupy the land, an occupancy deed.
Right.
And I don't want the United States' permission to exist on my people's land. And, it sounds stupid, but
It is not.
it's on principle that I want to teach my kids that it's not about ownership. It's not about being a wealthy landowner. It's not about all these materialistic things, right? I'm responsible for these tiny plots on earth that I got to take care of them, make sure they're not polluted. I'm upkeeping them. I'm planting medicine there. I'm planting food there. I'm harvesting the food that I'm teaching my kids to use that little parcel on this earth and appreciate it, so the earth feels that we love her, and the earth is feeling our energy that we're appreciative. Because I'll tell you what, Akwesasne is a really beautiful place, but it really sucks to see all the fucking parking lots.
Oh, yeah.
It's gross.
It sucks to see them mow down. People fought
It
real hard
sucks
for the,
seeing the deforestation.
Yeah, they put
Well,
up a
and
house, they mow down a whole acre of land.
Everybody wants a colonial lawn, like, and I don't know if anybody's seen the meme with the guy with the white wig, and it's like, do you dress like this? Then why do you want a lawn like that? Like,
Right.
So, my parents, grew up in the age they grew up in, and my grandfather, Peter Burns Sr., wasn't like, I don't want to say he was a super good dude or a super bad dude, but him too, he's a residential school survivor. So I always like to talk about number 9 is considered to be like Bombay, right? That area.
It's part of the triangle.
And our family will never pay the taxes on that land. Like, we probably owe millions. I don't know. That's an estimation. But our family won't. But that's also why it's not parceled up. It's one parcel. It's the original parcel that my grandfather had bought. And our whole family can use it.
Yeah.
The whole Burns clan uses it. It starts businesses there. It does different things. Like, and none of us fight over it.
Right.
Because we know that we're not supposed to own the land. We're just using it. But there was an issue with that, with compliance, when my cousin's husband made his little shop.
Uh-huh.
So the tribe came down and wanted to take away the fuel license, the gas license, the cigarettes, all that stuff, because this is on your property.
Oh, yeah.
So our family, had to consult with each other, and finally they decided, well, it's kind of a strong arm tactic, right? Like,
It's absolutely a strong arm.
why
tactic.
should we have to divvy up this land?
It's join us or suffer.
So, that, I guess, got squashed or whatever, and I'm not, like, in the administrative office to know, like, the dealings. I'm not an owner.
Well, there's certain families that could back shit up. You don't want to really don't want to.
You want to know what? This is gonna, you guys are like this part of going back to the whole daycare movement story. I did end up getting fucking power because I know that, and people are probably gonna get mad because I don't share this often. I read. If you've ever been taught to read, you can read. You can understand things, comprehend them, right? You might need an occupancy deed from the tribe to get power for a residential building, but you don't need one to get power if it's commercial. So you know
Hear
what
that,
I did?
dispensaries?
So you know what I did? I tore the fucking bathrooms out of that house. Now it's not residential, it's a business, right? Because when you go into business, what's in there? A toilet and a sink. You don't sleep where you can't shower, right?
Right.
So National Grid came in with the New York, certified electrician.
Yeah.
And they, inspected it and did all that stuff. And they went, it is a business. and I got power. And did I not have 3-4 different employees coming to the daycare going, how'd you get power? I'm telling you. Well, I'm saying it now.
Yeah.
But that's because I knew this trick.
Right.
From my mother's family.
Why do we have to do a trick? This is what bugs me.
But why don't I have to
why do you have to go
sidestep it?
If that's the thing that really bothers me about the governments around here is they always talk about peace, but they're the violent ones. They're the ones who are like get in the way.
I always talk about not owning the land, and so like, you know, I just shared something today. I was like, don't talk about it, be about it. So like, I might talk about not owning land, and I might talk about all these things, but you know what? I actually live by it, and it's not an easy life. Mm-hmm. It's not easy to get paid cash. It's not easy. Like, we don't have fucking, well, I want to really put myself out there, but like, it's impossible to get health insurance if you don't have pay stubs and if you don't file taxes, right?
Right.
And during COVID, I couldn't even, well, I did end up getting it, but during COVID, I called food distribution. Mm-hmm. And I said, hey, I need food. I'm out of a job. My husband worked for me at the time. Like, we were both out of a job. And we knew we had about a month's worth of food at the time. Mm-hmm. So I called them and I said, hey, there's 6 of us. I got 4 kids. And they said, well, we need a pay stub. And I said, well, I don't have one. I'm a private business owner. I get paid cash by the parents. Okay, well, you need to get one. Well, how am I going to get one? I'm closed now. Mm-hmm. All right, well, we need your W-2. Is that what you call it?
Yeah.
Okay, so I said, well, I don't have one of those either. And they said, well, there's your husband. And I said, my husband, like, don't even exist over here. Like, he's the baby daddy and the husband, but, like, he's not.
It's a res thing.
Yeah, exactly. Like, we're here. You know I exist. But, like, on paper, I don't. On paper, I'm homeless. I'm carless. Yeah. I'm insuranceless. I'm creditless. But I'm here and I'm existing. So they told me no, and I lost it. And then I kind of was like, well, you know, like, there has to be a way, right? Like, don't use not a form. I don't care if it's 50 pages long. There has to be a form I can fill out that you give to your superior, the federal government, that helps me. There's got to be other Indian families in the United States that don't have these things.
They're trying like mad to stop it all.
So anyways, they called me 20 minutes later and they said, Chrissy, and I said, yeah. And I was at the verge of tears because when the pandemic first happened, I was scared.
Yeah, it was scary. We didn't know.
And it wasn't growing season, right? Mm-hmm. It was the end of winter.
Yeah, so it was the last week or first week of March.
I will be honest, I was scared. How am I going to feed my kids? I got 4 boys. And they called me and they said, Chrissy, and I said, yeah. And she says, we got your food ready. And I was like, oh my God. So I went to go get it. I was so excited. And as happy and relieved and, you know, appreciative as I was, the food they give us, mm-hmm. the government, really is like not good for your commodity. Stuff, yeah. So I couldn't feed my kids half of it because it wasn't healthy. And I didn't want to, right? We think about high blood pressure and heart disease and diabetes and all this. And I'm like, they literally just put that in me. Mm-hmm. Like, so there's lots of ways that I've been challenged to actually be about what I say I am about. And that was a triumphant day, though, because my kids were worried, too. And then they saw me pull up with the van, and I had all this food. And they're like, I thought they told you no. And I'm like, yeah, they did. And they're like, well, how'd you get them to say yeah? And I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I think, like, the power of community means something. And it is hard to live. Like, I went through that myself. Like, my kids didn't have social security numbers. We ended up having to go.
It's hard.
They didn't have birth certificates.
Yeah.
For a long time. We actually had to undo all of that so they could, like, work. I had hoped our our traditional governments would have fixed this by now, but they didn't.
Moves a lot slower than we'd like.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a quick question about that?
Yeah.
Like, were all your kids home birth?
No. I just dodged the social worker. It's really weird how insistent they are at the hospital.
They want you to
They're fucking right there.
They want you to do the birth certificate before you leave the hospital.
Yeah. I managed to get out of it.
But they were all born in a hospital.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I just shirked the lady. I just gave her a hard time. And
she's like, look over there.
And finally just left.
Runs.
Go.
Pretty much.
Cuts the little band off the baby.
Well, I mean, they want you in their system real bad. I don't know how the Amish get away with it. I think it's because there's a lot of them.
Well, and they're having births, I think, in home.
They go to hospital as well. They pay cash.
Oh.
They pay cash for everything. They don't have credit.
They are rich.
They don't believe in
as
credit.
fuck.
Actually, if you're a real Christian, credit is sinful. Yeah, there's a word for it.
Man, I'm so holy.
Yeah, no. That's why Jewish people were the money lenders, because it's not a sin in their culture, but for Christians it was to lend money at interest, and so they end up in charge of that, and that works out for you. Wow,
Y'all going to hell. Y'all going to hell.
it works out for you till you're programmed out of your country.
Right?
And guess what? Hell collects interest, motherfuckers. Yeah.
So yeah, I just I'm glad to be where I am now. Like, you know, it's funny to just be down the road from land back camp, because I feel like in the last 3 years I've done a lot of healing, and I'm really secure in myself. And I might say things or do things that piss people off, but at the end of the day, I know that I'm not going to regret not saying anything. Like, that actually eats me up more. I try sometimes in meetings to not say anything, and I sit there and I'm start squirming, and I can like feel it in my chest, and then whatever comes out. I don't even know what I said. But people are like, no, you didn't sound dumb. I'm like, okay, good, because I felt dumb.
Hey, public speaking's hard. Public speaking's hard.
It is.
Especially when you get emotional. That's
You go to the monthly meetings at the tribe?
No.
Oh.
I mean, like, I go to all kinds of other meetings. Like, well, if I have to go to a tribal meeting, like there's an actual serious thing that's not being addressed or misinformation, like, then I obviously gotta go. And but I go to nation meetings, I go to women's meetings, I go to Confederacy meetings, I don't know. I feel like I have a meeting all the time.
You go to the meetings that matter to you.
I go to the meetings, that I feel, I go to the meetings that I feel I matter in. That I matter at. You know?
I understand, and I really do. I respect your stand on not playing ball with this system. I know it's a fucked up system, but the thing is,
I do love a lot of people there.
You are such a powerful voice, and I really think that you would be a lot of help at these monthly meetings. But I understand if you don't.
But you know what, too,
though?
You know what, too, though? My job is to take care of kids, right?
Yeah.
That's my passion.
Yeah.
So when do people need the most help? When their kids don't have school.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And when are the monthly meetings?
On Saturdays, because people don't have school or work that day.
And
unless you're Mohawk Council, then they have them Wednesday at 2:00.
So I mean, I do go to tribal meetings. I go to MCA meetings, you know. And one thing I would like to, really hammer home is, I always tell people when I say something about their position or where they work, it's nothing personal. It's not against you as a tribal trustee. It's not against you as a band person. It's nothing personal. Like, I could like you as a person, but if your job's doing something that's detrimental to our identity, then, I'm going to speak on it. And we can agree to disagree. And I never take it personally. Like, at the last one, I didn't agree with what was being said, but I still went and shook everybody's hand and thanked them for their time, because even though they're paid to be there and I'm not, I'm still going to thank them for their time, right? Because we're sharing space.
I work at the food pantry. Are you okay with that?
Yeah.
You're
cool.
He's gonna give you some heart disease.
I was gonna wait a little longer to reply just to make you sweat, but I'm not gonna be that mean.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing, and I'm not defending food distribution at all, and I do understand your point about this USDA food.
Yeah.
But unfortunately,
there's actual people starving in the community.
I know, but that's the food that's free.
I'm not hating on
That's
it.
the food that's free.
No, I'm not hating on it. I do know there are people in our community that are.
Trust me, I wish we weren't passing out mac and cheese and bologna and fucking.
But you know what? That's better than starving.
That is true.
It's better than starving.
But
But I think, I wouldn't have had a problem with this before. Like, so.
Right.
10 years ago, I would have been. Hell yeah, all of it. I'll eat all of it. But the more I got in tune with growing my own food and
you became more food sovereign,
becoming a seed keeper and things like that, and really working to grow and secure our old seeds, I started to realize what was not good for me.
And now we're getting into why I really, really wanted you here. Okay? Yes, I want to talk about that fucking asshole, but we'll get to it. What I really want... Oh, real quick. And trust me, this is coming out of a place of respect. Because...
I already know I'm going to be mad.
No, you're not.
I'm just kidding.
No, you're not. Well, it's because you brought up, your grandfather.
We have Mats.
Yeah.
You brought up your grandfather.
Yeah.
And I told this story to your mom because we used to work together.
Yeah.
Hi, Colleen. I love you. I miss you.
I didn't tell her I was coming here tonight. She told me to go
sad
home.
to see me go. She was like, fuck, I thought you were going to be my boss. And I'm like, I'm sorry.
That's exactly what she said, too. I know
I
it.
know.
That's how she talks.
I'm sorry, Colleen. But, yeah, I told her this. Back in the day, I used to work at Brass. Mm-hmm. And I think I did encounter old Pete's spirit. No joke.
He ain't just there. He's at the office, too.
Because I was, having a smoke because I was the only one in the room. And I was in that area between the kitchen and the bar in Brass, where they have the parties, the banquet area. And plain as day, in the bar, I hear whistling. And it's moving. And I'm like, okay, I put the cigarette out, go back and hide in the kitchen until there's sunlight. And then I bring it up to people the next day. They go, oh, that's just old Pete. That's just old Pete. And I'm like, you could have gave me a fucking warning.
That's why they used to call it legends and spirits.
I
Because
get
he was
it
a
now.
legend.
And they serve
And
spirits.
spirits isn't the liquor. I get it.
Yeah, so he's at... Well, we like to joke around that he's at the office, too, because I remember hearing a story that... my mom's siblings, they were having a little squabble over something. Stuff start falling. That was his.
Yeah, like he was saying, shut up.
He was saying more because he liked fighting. No. Yeah, he was something else. I appreciate that he instilled such a hard work ethic in my mom's family.
Yes.
Because I know that's where I get it from. And they're helpers.
Absolutely.
They are helpers. They're hustlers, all of them.
And they're fighters.
That's why you got your electricity.
They're fighters. They're fighters.
Oh, want to know what? When I wasn't going to get my water and all that, my uncles were like, let us know when you want the backhoe.
Yeah.
And I actually had that conversation with somebody that works at the tribe. Sorry, nothing personal, but I literally was
No, it is fucking personal.
But I literally was like, if you stop me, I will take my Uncle Philip's backhoe and I will dig across fucking 37.
Yeah.
I will do it. And then that week that they were trying, I actually had the backhoe over there, but for something else. Like I was digging up something in the back, but everything stopped after that. Like I didn't need a building permit. Like everyone fucked off. But then they hotlined me and tried to say, concerned community members hotlined you because you have kids in a building with no water or power or sewer and all this shit. Because why?
Yeah.
Because they got a little checklist.
Meet their arbitrary codes.
They got a checklist that says permission, land deed.
Yeah.
Like all these things, and I didn't have them, right? Because I bypassed them.
Right.
Because guess what? There's still some fucking real Ungwehuen people left here.
Yeah.
And a couple.
And people are trying like mad to stop. That's like we were at the meeting the other night together. And you always get this refrain from them like, we're trying to protect tradition, we're trying to protect the land, but the people in charge of a system that's trying like mad to undo all the Indianness that there is.
No, so like the new little, I do like the nice, beautiful entryway into the clinic, but what about the marshland that was next to it?
Yeah.
And all the medicines that are now polluted because they did the drainage pipes feed into where that marshland was. Because I watch all that. I watch everything. And
I went on Facebook
just
because I was so upset with the deforestation happening next to my home.
It's sad.
Next to the diabetes.
And it's like, what's the
I can
reason?
see right to St. Regis Road now.
Yeah.
Like there's no... And I'm like, motherfucker, they cut all that down to put a cement clamshell there so people can go there and sing. And I put it up on Facebook, and he had an awesome joke. He says, "Yeah, they're gonna cut all the trees down and then name it Maple Street."
They fucking did
Let me
that.
put my eyes back in my head.
They did that across from number 9.
Just pick them up off the fucking floor.
Yeah. So I mean, this is what
That's a great joke.
I should try comedy.
Maybe just sometimes.
How was that at the meeting? I think it was the most hilarious one there.
Yeah, you know what? You did lighten up the mood a little because when you said, we need boots on the ground, and I was like, I'm about 500 kids in. Like, I'm ready. I'm going to make a phone call when I'm about 90 years old, and the kids are going to go, Chrissy said.
Well, so the thing for me is to not approach from a fear place. Mm-hmm. And I see that in those people, and they're all from a fear place and all from like this anger place.
Yeah.
And I used to be that way too. It took a lot of work. But if you think 7 generationally, don't fucking worry. If you just do your job now, there's going to be a lot of Sundays going forward. And if just half of Will's kids follow his example, there's going to be hundreds and thousands of Sundays going forward. And if we think that way, we don't have, and we just push our language and our culture. We don't have to worry about laws. Like, laws are fake.
And that's the thing that's so frustrating is that our people really grasp onto the word law. They really grasp onto it and like, this is the law, this is the tribal law, this is whatever law. And, it's just a word.
Jesus, when did this turn into Sage Against the Machine?
Yeah, well, I can't get Isaac in here, so that's what it's going to... No, it's all a fabrication in our heads. Like, there is no law. There's just what you can do and what people will let you do and what they won't let you do.
Yeah, and those laws don't apply to everybody. So another big...
Especially not you.
Especially not police.
So a big misconception in the community is that people think policies are law, right? And they'll try to enforce the policies as if they were law, but they're not. They're just words on paper.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I know people are comfortable, and I appreciate that. Like, when you struggle and you've been hungry and you've been worried about being hungry, being comfortable is nice. And I am, I'm always going to be against oppression, obviously. And I might not have my language, and I'm learning my culture, but what I am is a mother. Mm-hmm. And a mother never stops mothering, and I'm never going to stop trying to talk about what's right. Like, as a human, what's right. As a human being, what's right and what's wrong. And sometimes what we're doing to each other isn't right, even though people think it's just words on paper. Yeah,
exactly. And I think also we can be creative and build. We don't have to copy. We can build new. We can experiment. We can make, Land Back Lane. It's just for context for those who aren't from here.
Yeah.
It's down the road from where we're sitting right now. The road will go from New York State to Quebec about a few hundred feet that way.
Yep.
And it's a long road that follows the marsh and ends up at the St. Lawrence River. And about halfway down, there's a farm. And it's kind of this is a disputed area.
Yep.
So, people, Jackie and some other people just went and made a farm there, and it's cool.
Yeah.
And they're going to make mistakes, and they're going to try different things, but
we're all human.
There's no reason to use force on them.
Yeah.
And that's where it comes down to, like, these people in these systems pretend they're the people of peace, and they're not. They're violent.
They're attacking people's peace.
Yeah, they're attacking people. They're making the violence.
Yeah.
And then saying, "Oh, you're a criminal."
And violence isn't always physical. People forget that.
Uh-huh. But I mean, police are physically violent. Like, they're dudes with guns. The only thing that they got a fucking costume on. That's all that's different.
Yeah.
And they've been trained to do violence by other people who do violence.
Yep.
And that's it.
The only thing is that under that law, they're the ones allowed to do it.
Right. They have a monopoly.
Because I've done the same thing the police have done, and I've gotten charged for it.
Oh, I mean, we have a regular guest too.
Yeah. So
it's a big trouble for.
Well, that's another thing. We have our second vigilante on the show, but again, we'll get to that. Can I get back to my original point? We keep going down the hole.
Okay.
And as soon as I find a topic in the hole, we dig another.
Touch my hole, Will.
Maybe you should not get so scared and just keep going.
Anyway, as soon as I see Gordy again, I'm going to say, "Hey, baby daddy." How you
That's
doing?
my husband.
How you doing, baby daddy?
That's my man. That's my man. Like, he's...
And he's all man. He is all man.
He's awesome. He's what I hope everybody gets in a husband, because I want to fucking go. He'd drive me 4 hours away. He can't do anything for me. I want to shut down the highway. He goes.
And he's a good friend. I love that guy. He's awesome. But anyway, so I'm so happy to announce this. And I'm announcing it with you two here because I need all the advice that Tori and I can get, and I just want to really pick your brain on this for
So
a
the
few minutes.
vasectomy didn't hold.
Oh, it definitely did.
I was just gonna say that. I'm like, what?
I can throw it anywhere I want, brother. There you go. No. In the springtime, Tori and I are thinking of getting chickens.
Do it.
Oh.
Yeah. And the thing is, this is my first time ever doing it. I do know that I want to try, having chickens at least once in my life. And if we have a real knack for it, we're going to keep doing it. So where do I start? How do I do it? What are the pros and cons? So,
Okay, first off,
yeah.
Lean right in.
they're gonna die.
Does it sound like she needs to lean in?
I was going to say the same thing. If you're going to have chickens, you're going to have dead chickens.
It's a part of
Yeah.
farming, so
Yeah.
don't get too sad.
I get it. Everything out there wants to kill your chickens. I get it.
Everything.
And they kill each other, and
Oh,
they
yeah.
just drop dead.
Yeah.
They choke on things. You know the chicken on fucking Moana? Half of them are that stupid. I'm not kidding. So anyways, usually, I mean, if you're not caring about how many roosters hens get, you can grab some at Tractor Supply.
I don't want any rooster.
But I like to, McMurray Hatchery is pretty good. Hoover Hatchery is pretty good. Gordon's the man to talk to. He's the one that teaches me about chickens.
Mm-hmm.
But they're pretty good, and they'll make sure you get like all females, the egg layers, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, they're
Well,
gonna
that's the
die.
thing. We want eggs as long as we can, and then eventually we're gonna do what you
Eat
did
'em.
and eat them.
Yeah.
That's what we
So
do.
how long? Like you have them for about a year.
Well, I tend to have them for about a year, and then something fucking eats them. They
Just after you spent like $1 million in chicken food, some
basically.
it doesn't even eat the whole bird, just the head.
Oh, so I started with 10 this year. I started with 10 from Tractor Supply. You can get them sexed at Tractor Supply. They'll sell you all females. They do that. I bought Morans and I bought Maricunas.
Well, I got like 8 roosters out of.
Yeah, you gotta watch
10,
that. Sometimes
so that sucked.
if it's
They
so
all fuck.
so you'll see the word sexed and you'll see the word straight run. Straight run means
Whatever.
it's
You
a
get
yeah,
what you get.
you get what you get.
Yeah.
And then sexed means they are all female. Somebody has to look at each and every one of them. They cost a little more, not that much more. It's worth it.
Yeah.
I'll do that.
And then
But if you want 10 chickens, get 20.
yeah.
Because the chicks drop. Like I don't know what it is. Every time you open the door, one's dead.
I had
really,
one
what we want to do we really want to do this chicken thing for is because we have just the craziest tick problem on our property.
I'm telling you, I got no ticks at my house.
Yeah, 'cause of the
None.
chickens.
Yeah, and I even bring them to the daycare sometimes and let them run in the run.
You-
And they eat
we
all
see.
the bugs. They eat all the bugs. I bring them in, once in a while, and the kids chase them around. But they eat all the bugs, so I'm not really worried about ticks there.
Yeah,
So they are natural, they're a natural helper.
yeah.
But
That's absolutely why we
and
want
they're
them.
entertaining. Like
Yeah.
people are like, "Why do you got chickens?" I'm like, "Cause they're joy."
and it's neat. It's neat to walk out there and collect your own eggs.
It is,
It's
and
fucking
it's a
neat.
cool thing to do with the kids. I don't know. When we first got chickens, I was just about to have a baby, Thomas, the 9-year-old, and didn't Gordon and Phil come home with like 200 fucking chicks and built a coop in our yard, and there's the 200 fucking chickens. Well, who ended up trying to collect all the eggs and feed them? Me with a newborn baby and
That's
a
a
little
lot of
baby
chickens.
carrier. So like, I was a little put off
That is
at
real
first.
tradition right there.
yeah.
You're out there breastfeeding,
Got,
picking up
trying
eggs
to
and
get the
shit.
fucking eggs, dropping my phone and chicken shit.
They shit
They're in the
everywhere.
middle of the
They
night,
shit everywhere.
But it taught me a lot, right? And it
Yeah.
made me a little less squeamish about them. And then we didn't have them for a while, but we had chicken meat forever, right? And it was nice then to buy it.
Yeah.
But they weren't as fat as we'd like because there was so many of them. So they were always fighting. But so now, I kind of have them for half entertainment, half food, because they're kind of freeloaders in the winter. They don't really lay unless you force them to lay, like with
Yeah.
the light and heat.
Well,
and all
that's
this
the
shit.
thing is we're hoping
And-
to get them in spring, kill them by fall.
Don't
So
put the goats with the chickens. If you end up with a goat, I'm telling you, chickens are the gateway
To
animal
goats.
to like a
we're not
farm.
getting goats.
You say that till your wife wants one, and you're gonna be like, you know what, honey, whatever you want.
Yeah.
That's
It's like,
what
do you
my man
want the
says.
goat or do you want the fucking dog? You can't have both.
We got all of them.
Yeah.
That's your problem.
So
It's about to be yours.
No.
so things to know. Your biggest
You can't hang out with her. You can't hang out with my wife. Though.
I'm gonna message her.
You're
and
gonna
tell
be
her
a
she
bad
needs all of it.
influence.
You're gonna have a farm on Margaret Terrence
Yep.
Way, the tribe's gonna issue a thing saying you can't have chickens or
you didn't get your order
I'll
from
send it back with chicken shit on it. There you go.
Just wait till we put our fucking studio there with the big sign on it.
Oh, it's gonna be great.
Oh man, we're gonna be in there recording. John's gonna be outside catching fucking chickens.
We're gonna be live. We're just gonna be live, fucking big ass speaker pointed
Look
there.
at this stupid fat Indian out there.
So your biggest challenge is gonna be dogs.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Just don't even, if you're gonna have chickens, don't even do the chicken wire. Get like it's like cattle fencing. Or pallets.
Sorry.
Yeah, those that will keep like actual dogs and like
Didn't keep the beagle out.
Well, he seems small.
Yeah, he fucking killed most of my flock 2 weeks ago.
Well, that's unfortunate.
And he's still alive?
I mean, the kids love him.
You can't eat the dog. I mean, unless you're another Indian tribe.
Just as a sign of my growth, the dog is still alive.
I really have done a lot of healing.
10 years ago, you would have ate that dog.
I would have shot that fucking dog right in the head and fucking moved on.
You would have been like, who says we don't eat dog?
I'm ready to shoot my goat in the head. I'm trying not to.
So once upon a time, I had goats. And then they ate my fruit trees, and now I no longer have goats.
So how'd the goats taste?
They were delicious. They tasted like fruit tree.
I know.
Yeah.
Just like how the ducks taste like marsh because that's what they eat.
Yeah. I went out there with an AK.
I don't know if I want to do ducks.
Don't do ducks.
They're cute.
Gross.
They're kind of gross, but they're cute. I like duck eggs.
Duck eggs are great, but you know what? Just I don't like them that much more than chicken eggs. To be like, yeah, let's get ducks.
Yeah. Just wait till you see your kids see the baby ducks. So they're so fucking cute.
I want to get my hands on an ostrich egg. You know them big fuckers?
eBay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can like order it online.
Yeah. Yeah, you can.
Just go on Facebook Marketplace, put it in.
Yeah.
Guaranteed there's somebody within
There's some
hours.
psycho and fucking
Not even
scary that has ostriches. You
I
can
know,
buy the weirdest
I know
animals
a lady
around.
who's got a fucking ostrich on the wrist.
It ain't me.
There was an emo farm at one point. There was an emo farm
Yeah.
on the island.
Those are pretty cool.
Yeah.
I couldn't get one because they'd be like 20 feet taller than me.
You can
but
ride it. You have a saddle.
be like the Flintstones.
Pull up at the tribe with a saddle, a spear.
I'd be like, this is how serious I am about my green footprint. I ain't even driving a car. I'm driving an ostrich.
Do you know that an ostrich almost killed Johnny Cash?
No way.
Yeah.
Well, now I want one.
Yeah. Because that ostrich's talon just went right in his fucking gut. Just disemboweled him.
That's scary.
Yeah.
Now I don't want one.
Yeah, right.
Now I wanted one. Now I don't. See how
gonna be chasing your
indecisive I
kids.
am?
It's
This
gonna
is
be
how
eat one of
indecisive
them.
I
He
am.
was
I'm
so
like,
mad at what the ostrich did.
Yeah.
He went and fucking killed all those condors.
Right.
Jesus Christ.
You didn't hear that about Johnny Cash? Oh, he was a crazy fuck.
Just got a pill, started killing fucking animals.
Just mad about everything.
Yeah, so yeah, good fence up front, like the 2-inch cattle panel too, not the
Yeah,
4-inch.
and yeah, we right now we have Gordon, of course, builds me whatever I want. He built a new chicken coop, but he used pallets, and then we had leftover like tin roofing. Like my grandparents saved everything, so we used whatever they had in the garage, and he just put it at the bottom so nothing can dig like through. Solid.
Yeah.
And then we're like, yeah, nothing can get them. They're not gonna die. Fuck yeah. The goat starts headbutting them, taking them all out. Fucking killed like 20 of them this year. I was so mad.
Your goat.
My goat.
Your goat headbutt chickens to death.
She killed the other goat too.
Yeah.
And this is the worst part. She's not even one I wanted.
Right.
She was a fucking rescue that people were like tagging me on Facebook. Oh, this poor goat. Nobody wants it.
Murders goat, no wonder.
So I fucking go to Cornwall. I smuggle it through the border. You know, the chickens that came with it. The chickens were free because that's how bad they didn't want the goat.
Don't just pass. How the fuck did you smuggle a goat over the border?
You just don't tell us in there.
Listen, you know the van?
Yeah.
The van? I had Oreo, that's her name, that's the name she came with. I had her on the front seat of the car going through U.S. Customs. Anything to declare? No. The goat, it's fucking screaming. They wouldn't even look at me. The guy wouldn't even make eye contact. He just gave me my ID back. Like, have a nice night, Christine. Not even kidding. That goat came from St. Andrews. They say you can't bring goats or chickens or whatever,
but you can.
Apparently
Chrissy Jacobs.
it was invisible.
I think if there's just one and you're going down Snide or something,
Yeah,
it's okay.
So they said it was Oreo, but you brought home Black Phillip, and he's just killing all their chicken.
She's like the fucking black. Like, she's evil. Like, she's so evil. And it's like, we'll go to feed the chickens, and you think it's like this relaxing thing. All of a sudden, here comes Oreo fucking running. Boom! Feathers everywhere. Like,
Gotta get that video. Put it on TikTok.
I see what you mean by entertaining. No.
they're entertaining, but
Johnny B would like that.
and she beats up the res dogs. This goat.
Nice.
Like, when she's loose, like, I actually have been leaving her loose to, like, graze around the yard, you know, because she defends herself. Like, dogs, German shepherds, whatever, come in the yard, you hear them barking at her, all of a sudden you hear, it goes running away because she freaking almost killed them.
Amazing.
She's mean.
It makes sense that you have the fucking killer goat.
That I didn't want.
Yeah. Just rename her killer.
You know what my kids said? They said it's because she was raised off reserve. She has no sense of community.
Right.
Is that it? Yeah.
She was raised as a loner, every man for himself mentality. Now look at her.
Yep.
I gotta hit the head. Right back.
That water went through you. So what other animals do you have?
A dog.
Dog.
I had 2 dogs. Well, I had a dog and she had puppies, and then we kept one puppy, but then the dog and the puppy died, and then my uncle gave me back one of the puppies I gave him. So I have the dog.
Got it.
And he comes and visits. I didn't know that, like, visitation was in the give back agreement. So
Oh,
he
really?
comes over, like, every Sunday and just, like, walks through my house and goes to visit his dog.
Oh, yeah.
We're like, it's our dog now. But then I have a goat. And then I think I have, like, 30 chickens, like, all different kinds of chickens.
Yeah.
Not counting the skunks that try to live under my porch or the possum that lives in the garage. You know,
Yeah.
Those just came with the property.
Right. Yeah, I get those too. I had one. We had a couple of fellas on here, and one they get under the house, like under where we're sitting, and one just decided to light it up, and we had to vacate a few episodes back. We had to run out of here because it was fucking bad.
Like eyes watering.
Just like couldn't sit in here.
Yeah. I know what you mean.
Yes. Occasionally they'll get the dog, and then we have to watch the dog.
Tomato juice.
Yeah, I've been using lemon juice.
That probably I heard that works too.
Because you can get it in a bottle and it's easy. I think it's any acid will work. Honestly, I think the acid just breaks down the whatever the fuck this thing. The oil or whatever this thing is made of. So what do you do with your goat?
I just let her roam around. I yell at her mostly.
So she's a pet.
Yeah, it's a pet. Like,
I mean, you can eat her.
We tried to we had this other goat named Pork Chop, and we tried to let them breed, but he was too short, so he couldn't get the job done. And then she fucking murdered him, so he's dead. Oh. She's like, maybe we'll just call her Black Widow instead of Oreo. Oreo sounds cute and friendly, and she is not. And also, I brought her and Pork Chop to the daycare this summer. Oh, cute! Everyone pet the goats, whatever. And so all the kids going at nap time, and I hear horns beeping and whatever. They were on the fucking road. They got out of the fence, and animal control had Pork Chop in the back of the truck. I can hear him screaming. So he drove him back to the daycare, and I got him out, put him in my van.
That's going to be your other challenge, Will. Keeping them out of the road.
I'm not getting goats.
I mean the chickens.
I give it 3 years. He's gonna get goats.
Yeah.
He's gonna get one goat.
They're gonna go to a farm.
Your girls are gonna be old enough to drive. Yeah. They're just gonna show up.
They'll be like, we'll take care of it. It's for 4-H.
You know what? You know what I'm gonna say though about goats? They're less gross than chickens because they have little rabbit shit, right?
Yeah.
And it doesn't really stink.
Yeah.
And it just breaks down in the yard, and it's
chickens will shit. There'll be a whole yard to shit in. They will shit on your porch.
Yeah.
If they can get up there, they will shit there. I don't know what it is, but they'll shit where you walk.
They're jerks. They're little.
Yeah.
They're kind of assholes.
Little dinosaur assholes.
Little T-Rex jerks.
Right.
Well, then it'd be more satisfying when I'm stuffing them into kill cones.
That's right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna need your help with that.
It's easy. Be a man.
It's real easy.
I don't have the equipment. He does.
All you need is a knife and a little safety cone off the road.
Yeah. Well, we have.
I'm not kidding. I mean, they put them out in the springtime. You just grab one.
We used to have a farm program. We have access.
I mean, technically, taxes pay for that, so that's
that's
your
our
cone.
money.
Yeah,
that's your cone.
That's a community.
Not yours. You didn't pay taxes.
Everyone go out there and you take a fucking cone. That's yours.
Well,
it's ours.
You know what though? My parents and grandparents pay taxes.
There you
go.
It's
grandfathered in.
That's a family heirloom cone. Yeah.
Yeah, but we had a share farm where we had things like that, and we can still utilize it.
Yeah, there's people that will process it too. Like, you don't even gotta do it yourself if you really don't want to.
But it's so fun.
I'm gonna.
Just cover yourself in blood. And
I'm gonna. No, I want my kids to be involved in every single little bit of the
I think
process.
it's healthy.
It's a learning process.
I want them to love
for
the little
sure.
chicks, and then I want them to see their heads cut off as adults.
Which one's your favorite?
But
Kill
you
it.
want them to get eggs too in the meantime.
Yeah.
So typically egg layers don't make the
I'm
best
not telling
meat chickens.
them to do it.
Yeah, you don't really. I have chickens that are like 3 years old maybe, like, and they'll lay in the summer and the spring, but in the winter they kind of are freeloading.
You can force them with a light. You can leave a
Yeah.
light in there on a timer. It's just a
I don't want to.
Yeah, I do it, fuckers.
I did it last year and I was so excited, and then I was like, now I have too many eggs, and that was with the daycare kids and my kids, and I still had too many eggs. I didn't know that was possible. Now I got none.
I've seen what he had to go through with his eggs. He had buckets. And I'm like, what do you do? He's like, I eat eggs every fucking day.
I was like giving them away.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you poor man.
Yeah, they make
Egg farts for days.
I just sell them on Halloween to all the kids in
I
Saint.
do love
That's
eggs, but eventually I'll be like, fuck, man, let's go get some cow. Jesus.
Cow pairs well with egg.
So
A nice fried egg on a burger.
you're working
That's
at
right.
you're working at the food pantry.
I am.
And you do.
I teach yoga
That's
and mindfulness.
that's
and
pretty
meditation.
cool. Helping the community. That's good.
Yeah, and I also work at the radio station.
See how
still.
she said your job's cool?
I said both your jobs cool.
No.
You are helping the community.
Yeah. We're community based.
I mean, if you want to have a fucking problem, we can have a problem.
Whoa!
But I don't think.
He works for the
God!
man. I'm subversive.
But I mean,
I teach
we
people
don't
about
have to have a
feelings.
problem because they thought we were
We
friends.
don't have a problem.
I'll get the mats
Oh
out.
my
He's gonna
God.
need the gloves.
Don't make me turn that camera back up and
I'll be like just shrinking away.
Okay, well, now that you're getting feisty, let's go there. I want to talk about this asshole. But first,
Which one? There's a few on my list.
the one that you had trouble with most recently.
Oh, the most recent. Okay.
But let's explain this. Since this is already public knowledge, I guess we can name him, right?
I don't know. It was on Facebook. I mean,
I put it on Facebook.
Okay. Well, here's the thing. I knew this guy. His name was Chris. His name is Chris, I should say. And believe it or not, there was a time back in high school where I would say, yeah, he was kind of a buddy. He came to my house. He only came maybe once or twice. And then I found out some rumors about him. Turns out the rumors were true. He was a rapist already in high school. And then I was just like, no, fuck you. We're not buddies no more. Fuck off. And then anytime I would see him, I'd be like, get the fuck out of here, scum. No.
Like,
get out of
not
here.
cool. Yeah.
He would stop by where I was working at, like a gas station or wherever. Like, don't
Try to talk to you. Yeah.
I'm like, oh, get the fuck out of here. Go, 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 go. And, then he started getting in trouble around here, getting excommunicated. And I was like, good riddance. Get rid of that son of a bitch. In fact, I made a TikTok, which got a lot of views because a lot of people wanted to know who I was talking about. Because he's got like the warrior tattoo and shit on his chest.
No, he don't.
And I was like,
He has that on him.
And I was like, let's do that thing like in Sons of Anarchy.
That's what I was just thinking.
Where I'm like, where we get him and we go fire or knife. Either way, that's coming off.
I'm like, he lives down the road.
He does. But then.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Like,
he does.
that he lived down the road till recently.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
So what the fuck happened?
So,
I need some context.
to give to get the listeners context who might not know anything.
All right, I'm gonna start from the beginning, even though I put it all on Facebook. Right. I am just trying to be zen and peaceful in my daycare of awesomeness, and I'm like, I'm baking pies. I'm gonna go put some pies in my car. They were still warm. I'm like, in my
smelled
Dota
the
energy.
pie.
No, listen, don't fucking say that. No, listen. So I go to put them in my car, and I hear yelling, and I turn around, and this motherfucker is trying to kick in the house at the door at my dad's house. My sister lives there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, get the fuck out of there. Because I knew she was home with her little kids.
Oh my
Because
God.
it's like 4:30 4:30 or something. It was like 4:40. I don't know. It was almost closing time. So I'm like, hey, get the fuck out of there. He comes running like full tilt right from the door to me, like at the daycare building, like right to my face. Tells me, mind my fucking business. Like, get the fuck out of here. And I was like, excuse me, you're in my yard. And he's like, fuck you. And I was like, I'm calling the cops. I don't like to call the cops. But you know what? If my man's at work or whatever, it's like, who's going to get there faster?
They kind of have a monopoly in.
And also, like, that's their job, right?
Ostensibly.
So anyways, so I'm like, I'm going to call the cops. So he's like, in my face, you can't fucking call them. And he runs back to my sister's house, starts banging on the fucking door. He's jumping in her van, her man's car. Like, he's trying to steal the cars. And I'm trying to watch him, and I'm trying to, like, look at my phone. Every time I grab my phone, he tries to rush me. So I can't really, like, look at my phone to dial. But on your phone, you know, there's, like, the camera or whatever. Yeah. So I press the camera thing, so I take a picture of him, and he sees me put the phone up, so he runs to the car and tries to hide in the car. I take his picture, and he fucking rushes me again, like, fuck you, like, and I'm like, oh my God. So I finally call the police and tell them, like, you need to get here, there's somebody, whatever, this is where I am. And I know they probably got there fast, but it felt long, right? Because this guy's, like, freaking out. A daycare parent comes, parks, and everyone leaves their car running. To go into the daycare, grab their kid. Right, it's cold out.
It's not. Yeah, it's normal.
He looks at it, and you can just tell.
You saw his wheels turning. Yeah.
Yeah, and he start walking real fast. So it's between him and the fucking car. Like, no, thank you, sir. And he's telling me, "Fuck you." Like, I need a fucking ride out of here. I'm like, walk. He has no shirt on. Like.
I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, the tattooed white guy with no shirt on. That's what I saw.
Like, why do you got no shirt on? It's cold out. So, anyways, we're like arguing, and his dad's like, I'm scared. The guy's taller than me, and he's like scared. And I'm like, well, fuck, do I have something to be scared about? But like, I can't act scared, right? Because there's kids in the daycare building with my other teacher. My sister has kids in her house. So like, I was scared, but like, what's that gonna do? So I'm like, no, fuck you. Like, get the fuck out of here. So his dad's standing behind me like, I'm scared, call the police. And the guy's trying to yell at me and his father. So I call the cops. My mom pulls up. Grandma Colleen, you know, daycare Dutta. She comes in the morning at the end of the day. She's like, hey, what's up? Sees this guy with no shirt on. Sees this old man. And all of a sudden, like, the whole tribal squad pulls up. And she's like, what the fuck is happening? And he sees the cops. And he's like, what the fuck did you do? And I was literally like, you're fucked. And he, like, ran away, like, to the back of the house. So they all just run. Like, run after this guy. And they're searching the woods. The woods are lit up. Like, they're down the library road. They're behind everywhere. Like, 15, 20 minutes. None of us can find this asshole. And I'm like, well, I can't leave till I know he's gone. Like, I can't leave the daycare and, like, leave him on the property. Right. Like, what the fuck? My niece opens the window in the house, right? It's, like, up high. She opens it. Did you check under the porch? I think I heard something. We're like, no fucking way. And all the cops are, like, real far away. They're, like, in the wood. Like, they're not at the house. Yeah. Me, like, just being stupid. I'll say stupid, not brave. I go running back there like I'm going to tackle him or something. My Uncle Spooky's and my cousin Kaiden are running behind me. I open the thing to the shed, like, under the porch. He's fucking curled up in a little ball fetal position, half naked. Like, what the fuck? Like, I'm hiding. I'm like, I found him. All the fucking cops come running. And I'm like, just give me a badge right now. Deputize me. You did your fucking job. Like, I called you because that's what I'm supposed to do. But, like, I found him. But you know what? I am glad we found him. I am glad they arrested him because a month before, I saw somebody get hit on a bike, like, by a car. And I called the police. And we searched for that person for, like, an hour and a half. We never found him. I'm like, the cops probably think I just said that. Like, I felt really bad because they had an ambulance. They were trying to find this person. They didn't find him till the next day. And he was all right, but he was hurt.
Was his name Jake?
No. I know Jake. No. Jake wouldn't have ran away from me. This guy, like, ran away. And I was like, I'm trying to help you.
Not my brother, other Jake.
What Jake?
Our friend rides a bike around a lot. Gets hit by cars often.
He does.
What's his last name?
Oaks.
No.
He's been a guest on the show a few times.
No, it wasn't
He was a guest last week.
Oh, no, it wasn't him. So, but it was sad just because he was hurt.
Oh, yeah.
So I thought, fuck, the cops are like, this fucking bitch calling us again. There ain't even nobody here.
I'm glad they showed up.
I'm glad they showed up. I'm glad they found him. me being me, just talking shit the whole way through. Like, he's like, fuck you. And I'm just like, okay.
Did they beat him up at least, please?
No, probably because I was like filming. I was recording. I was hoping they're going to tase him. And
I don't like police brutality, but I think sometimes it's warranted.
Well, I mean, a person who's assaulting women.
Yeah.
And
scaring the shit out of
who's
kids.
Who's obviously fucking up.
And abusing elders. Like, you deserve to get...
Yeah, so who's obviously fucking up? He deserves... at least everybody take a shot.
Yeah, so then everybody told me, they're like, you really need to watch your property and watch, like, your safety, because when this person gets out of jail, they're going to come try to mess you up. And I'm like, well, he can try. If
that's the case, why are they letting him out?
Yeah, but I think he's still in now. But I said, I'll press charges if that'll help.
Yeah.
And they never called me.
Huh.
So I'm like, when was that? Last week?
Maybe you can call the DA yourself.
I have her card. I will. She owes me a favor, actually.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't like...
Do you want to say that on air?
I don't care.
Okay.
Fuck drug dealers. Fuck rapists. Fuck woman abusers.
Oh, of course. But saying that the DA owes you a favor.
No, she does, because I testified in a child abuse case.
All right.
Because I ain't got no shame in anything I do, because I really believe in be who you needed when you were younger. Mm-hmm. And if a kid fucking needs you, I'm going to be there. And no matter how ugly and how inconvenient and how shitty it is, I will fucking defend children to their death. I will.
Yeah,
even if I don't believe in that court system and whatever, if their courts and their laws are going to hold their people accountable, I'm fucking there.
No, I'm with you. I've had to do it in my line.
Yeah,
I've had
so
to
I don't give a shit.
Talk to
officials. I could give you the biggest hug right now.
Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, and also that's a thing. Like, people are like, oh, you're like, fuck the police. I'm like, when they don't do their job.
Well, we're also pragmatic. Let's
be realistic.
It'd be really cool if you could call like one number and just the Warrior Society would show up and deal with it, but that's not the fucking case.
It's usually women who will show up.
Yeah. And even when I've seen,
I'll give you that.
It's usually women that'll show up.
Yeah.
You know why though? Is because we have that protectiveness. It grows in us with each kid we have, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you can't be stopped. You're gonna show up.
I think that's one of the things to talk about too. Is rather than complaining about the system that exists, they're just copying white people. That's what they do. Let's just call it what it is.
Yeah.
That's what they do. They think that's the right way.
Yeah.
I don't think it works, and I think that we can do better. We can homegrown better solutions for peace and it's like the volunteer fire department. There's no reason why we can't have a similar system for law enforcement.
But also we have
peacekeeping.
We have a volunteer fire department when I truly believe they should be paid.
Oh yeah, that'd be nice to have a professional.
Nobody has a song about fuck the fire department.
Yeah.
And nobody hides from firemen. Nobody's afraid about the firemen beating them up.
Yeah.
Like they are like truly heroes. And it's like, I think about I wish I could call the firemen versus the police, just because I know that people who volunteer and do things out of heart, they're really
in it. It's not just ego.
And you got to make babies with a fireman.
Fireman of the Year, even.
There you go. Wow.
He deserved like
it's
a
just
million
like, honey,
more kids.
Put on the boots. Put on the fucking helmet.
I never really get to see him in his gear, and so when I do, I'm like, oh, you're so
just set a grass fire. He'll show
awesome.
up.
Are you like...
Oh my god! I did set a fire with my uncle, and the fire department got called, and Gordon was in the house like, you fucking idiot. He was so embarrassed because it was in his backyard. My Uncle Philip almost set himself on fire.
I almost set this house on fire one time.
So that was something else. I was like, I'm so sorry. He's probably like, you're so fucking embarrassing. You don't listen. I don't. That's why the kids don't listen either. But yeah, that guy, that was crazy. And I'm like, I'm really trying to like just do what I do, right? Like I just be a mother and be a mother all day. And this is the first time something's happened in the driveway there. And I'm like, how does this happen? I don't have time for this.
Yeah. Why was the guy going next door?
He wasn't. So what happened was the story is the dad was driving him to detox and he was trying to jump out of the car all the way down 37.
Huh.
So the father just sees a big driveway and like pulls in, and he just like got out and was freaking out, trying to get in everyone's cars in the house. Like,
so he was just here by happenstance.
And I just happened to be outside with the fucking food. So that really sucked though, because it really caused the big...
I bet. Yeah.
And it was at pickup time when everyone's getting picked up. So that was a scene and a half.
And none of the dads showed up to beat some ass.
It's all moms. It's all moms. Yeah.
I know
Even my mom was there. She was pissed. Well, no, my Uncle Spooky showed up though with the fuel truck.
Oh man.
He's lucky. He's lucky. Spooky was pissed because he thought the worst. Like, he was really scared for us.
Yeah.
You know, so he's solid.
I'm just saying, this guy ain't nothing to him.
No, I know. So I found out later that, like, what kind of person he was. And it was scary, you know, like when I went home and I like kind of took in what happened, and like that I was face to face arguing with him. Like, I could feel his fucking breath.
Yeah.
Like
a fucking crackhead.
Like
desperate people do stupid shit.
And it was like, you know, when you see those videos of like addicts and they're like jumping around and they just like kill somebody.
Right.
That's how he was acting. But so I didn't really realize it, you know, until like the adrenaline wore off and stuff. And I got home and I was like, oh my God, I'm lucky he didn't beat the shit out of me. Like I've seen women that he's assaulted, and I'm like, that could have been me.
Yeah.
Like, I'm obviously not like a big woman.
Right.
It wouldn't take much to
Man,
really rag me.
I don't even want to think about that.
So, I mean, if he gets out and he wants to start some shit, he can start some shit. I just mean, there's a lot of men like that in the community, and it really sucks that they feel so comfortable.
They keep coming back.
And they keep having a place to like hide.
For all of our bluster, they're here. And we can't.
The fucked up thing about it is where he's hiding.
Well,
is right next to the fucking clinic.
It's literally like next to the clinic, like down the road from 2 daycares, across the road from social services department. Like, come on.
And
so now
they're
that
busy
I know
harassing
him,
me.
No, so now that I know what he looks like and like really who it is, like, I mean, I'll keep an eye out. And I heard he has brothers, so it's like they can fuck around and find out too. Right. Because I might be a little 4-foot mom, you know, but I have a big family.
Yeah.
Like, I have a big family, you know, and I have a good man. Like, he's not gonna let nothing happen to me.
Yeah, and there's a community here to.
Yeah, like
a good man with a big axe.
Yeah.
But I feel like too, where my business is like central. So like if something does happen, like somebody would see.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I mean, just the fact that like we shouldn't even have to worry about that.
No, and I shouldn't have to worry about that. And I'm like, how do I end up with this?
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, it's not the first time something's happened in the parking lot there. And I actually requested to try to see if I could borrow like concrete dividers or something, just to deter people from turning around or pulling in that like aren't supposed to be there. I mean, I don't mind people turning around, but like it really sucks when parents are picking up kids and somebody's like whipping it around 50. Like, where's the respect?
Right.
Like, we're so disconnected from respecting each other that will endanger each other and their children.
Well, that's what I would like to feel. I would like people in our community to. Another reason why I don't like official things like compliance, like the cops, is because it disempowers people to act as community. So, for instance, in Japan, people don't litter because they will shame you, and if the cops catch you, they will beat your ass right there. They won't even go to court. They'll just beat your ass.
That would be...
Yeah, and I think there's a place for that kind of community empowerment.
Justice.
Yeah, so for instance, like to build community, like I'm different in the schools because I know the children, I know their parents, I know their aunts and uncles. I know who to call. I know who needs a message. I know, and that gives me something that no person, like most of the teacher, only the Mohawk teacher can do that. Right. Yeah. Only the youth advocate who's from the res can do that. Yeah. And I feel like we should be empowered to build our own systems that way. Yeah. With the power of community, with the power of family.
I feel like we could. Like, we are very proactive. So what's really unfortunate is when you see how powerful and protective our community is when we have a tragedy, right? Right. How we pull together and how we like take care of each other. Like, it's so beautiful, and I love being from here. I don't know.
We need to turn that on ourselves to do our social services, to do our corrections, to do our
We don't
healing.
always need that way.
Yeah.
We have ways.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, our people don't know how to function
Mm-hmm.
Individually in that way. Mm-hmm. Right? So, obviously, I'm not a police officer.
Right.
But I'll still try to keep people safe.
Yeah. And we can build...
And it sucks to think about it later, like, man, I don't got a bulletproof vest or
Right.
nothing.
But I mean, we can build that capacity too. Like that teaches us,
It's
is there a
responsibility.
phone
No,
tree?
there is a civic responsibility to each other and to our community and to our, our people.
Mm-hmm.
But we're so influenced by the outside way, right? That we really go back to that every man for himself thing, and we're like, oh, well, that's not my problem. That's happening next door. But really, if it's happening next door, that's happening to people.
Yeah, and that's something we can empower each other.
Yeah.
Like, for our friend Debo. Like, Debo had a bad past, and he's overcoming it. And, he tries to do stuff to help the community.
He does.
And we should empower him. Yeah. He what he did was chasing that guy down. That's what you should do.
And, it always goes back to, where's the response?
Uh-huh.
Where's the response? Because, I have a bad past too, not everybody knows that, but, I have a bad past too, and, if you knew me 20 years ago, you wouldn't think it's me sitting here right now, right? Because what do? I take care of babies, and I garden, and I do all these things. Ew. Gross.
Will shoulder
But I'm
porn.
just saying, look at the...
No, but I just mean, so this is something I always say, and men mostly will get mad is they want to speak about roles and responsibilities of the man and woman, and they want to have warrior tattoos, and they want to hang the flag and do all these things. But what do?
Yeah.
They disrespect women. They don't listen to women.
They litter.
They take advantage of people. They abuse their wives. They don't take care of their children. They're deadbeats.
Yeah.
But they're going to stand up with that flag and say, I'm a warrior.
That's when it's ego.
No, you know who's a warrior? A 90-year-old grandma who fucking takes care of shit.
Right.
And that's the thing that gets lost, right? And so, the warrior symbol has such a bad rap. But really what it was supposed to be was you're protecting, right? You're taking on responsibility. You're taking care of the elders. You're taking care of the young. You're looking after the women. But most people want to turn it into a gang symbol.
Yeah.
Or, to
It
twist the
feels,
symbology, right?
Right. Kills their ego.
Yeah, and it's just gross.
I'm a big tough warrior, even though I'm too fat to run to the end of the driveway.
I'm a big tough warrior, but I'm wanted in Canada, so I can't go help you shut down the highway. And I'm like, what a pussy. So, but then that's the thing too, right? A lot of men who, tout these ideologies and stuff, they're too scared to go to jail. I'm not scared to go to jail. I've been to jail. There's satellite, there's books, there's a shower, there's heat, there's food. You can take a fucking nap. What's scary about it? Freedom is only what you think freedom is, I think freedom is your free time, doing things you enjoy, things that don't stress you out, right? So a lot of it just sucks. And it's not, I'm not attacking men. I'm not I hate men, but a lot of men in the community that are to be idolized, are to stand behind that flag or fly it. They don't make sure their kids are fed. They don't check on them. They don't buy fucking diapers and wipes. And I'll tell you what, I know that. Because I know that. I know they don't help. And so it's hard for me sometimes when I go in these community meetings and men like that stand up and start talking, and it takes everything in me not to walk up to them and just slap them across the face you fraud. You're literally the fakest motherfucker here. Because everything you think you stand for, you do exactly the opposite.
Right.
Real men will take care of kids. That's
Absolutely.
balance. That's balance. Real men check on their kids.
Right.
And whether or not they're with the mother or not, they make sure she's good too. Because guess what? If the mom ain't good, the kids ain't good.
Right.
Right. And they didn't ask for you to be a piece of shit. So I'll probably take some flack for that. But
No, it's
I don't
fair.
care.
I think it's fair.
You know, and the same thing goes for mothers too. Like, you know, women want to be like, I'm the mother, I'm whatever, like, I'm the life giver. But also, like, you have to be supportive, you know, like, and you can't just expect everything from the man, right? Like, you can't expect the man to give you things, material things, or to fix your traumas or your damages. You got to take responsibility for that yourself. So it's really hard because we're so unbalanced.
Yeah.
And but we do have the power within you know, ourselves and our community to be really
I think so.
functioning.
I'm with you, and I think that's. I mean, maybe that's why some of us, like myself, get so hypercritical about the systems that we have, is because some of those systems are going the opposite way. I'd like to empower community, not disempower community.
Yeah.
And I think it's fair to say things, just like it's fair to say, like, be careful who you have kids with.
Yeah,
it's fair.
Yeah,
like,
that's fair.
This guy we were talking about, like, the guy is obviously got his screw loose. Just look at him.
Yeah, and
but there's probably some girl that thinks he's a winner.
There will be somebody who will have 20 kids with that person, and all those kids will be what?
Right.
You know, abused or not looked after, loved well, and that's not right.
Yeah.
And but then on the same, you know, like on kind of the same length, when a husband or a father or man is considerate and kind and caring, he takes flack for that too. Like what? It's not masculine. It's not like man. You know, like it's not.
Yeah, that toxic masculinity is real.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
You know, there's nothing wrong
being
with
vulnerable and emotional.
Because kids need to see how to have healthy emotions, right? And how to convey their feelings and their emotions, and that it's safe to.
Yeah.
This whole like hold shit in and I'm so tough I don't need help from nobody, like that's damaging.
That's residential schools.
That's where heart attacks come from. That's why
every
men
time
have heart
I'm
attacks.
about to cry, I'm like, go get the kids. They need to see this. And they come out and they watch me cry.
And he says, look what you made me do.
No.
This is all your fault.
Puts the Visine drops in real quick.
You make your dad cry, you little fucker.
I just put up snow guards and my Christmas lights on my house, so I feel pretty manly. So,
no, you know what though? That's like a thing where you're being a good dad and you're trying to like make memories with your kids. There's nothing wrong with that, right?
Yeah.
I know. I'm just trying to be funny.
But
it's a comedy podcast. My bad.
Not with me here. I'm just kidding.
Man, when women watch this,
I'm
it's
trying
so hot
not
for
to
you.
be serious.
Oh, you're funny. You're funny.
But no, there's nothing wrong with that. And like,
I agree.
That's the thing that really sucks is the men who will make fun of other men for being good men are the pieces of shit.
Usually.
Yeah, they're Johnny B.
No.
Yeah, piece of shit.
You motherfucker,
you can't show up tonight because you got to go do live comedy at Swizzles. Check them out every Monday night.
Where is that?
It's an Ottawa.
No, listen to our show, motherfucker. Tune into this on YouTube.
We release on Thursday.
Anyway, I'm gonna have to put that on a shirt. I say it so much anyway.
Anyway.
Like, but you know, we have come a long way, and you know, I'm not gonna totally be like anti everything. I am anti drug dealing, anti violence,
but not an anti.
Undeserved. My husband makes this joke all the time. He's like, I came from an anti family, but you're not, so it makes me a warrior.
There you go.
But now I'm the anti because I'm like anti a lot of things. But it's just, I don't know, it's hard. And I feel like because I'm older now, like they say when a woman gets to like 40, we like start to come into like our power and our awareness, you know, in the world. And I guess we just don't give a fuck anymore. Like I don't give a fuck anymore. And also like, I think my dad was one of my last serious criticizers, my last like person who I had to like be careful about his feelings. He would never like what do you call it? He would never back up me going to drug dealers' houses and be like, fuck you. Like, stop selling drugs.
Yeah.
He'd be like, oh my God, that's so scary. Don't do that. We're all gonna fry for it. But when he passed away, I was like, all right, ain't nobody scared no more because he's gone. He was like holding me back a lot because I was trying to respect his feelings, right? And now my kids are just like, oh, mom's gone again. Like,
Just go to the drug dealer's house again.
gonna hear about this at school shit. Like,
But at least it's the mom going to a drug dealer's house for a good thing.
yeah, and
there you go.
And you know, I always say too, I'm like, if you are not being a good person, it's never too late to like return to the fold and be one of the people, right? Like I was not a good person. Like my record was.
I do like the folds.
I bet you do. 8 kids later.
And she's like, I used to be bad. I'm going the opposite way. I'm just becoming worse.
I'm just getting worse and worse. I just ain't getting charged for it. I'm just kidding.
She walked in. I was sitting
But
in the
not
middle of
really.
drugs.
He's like, it's trimming season. I'm like, your bush.
That was. It was.
Doing it over a mirror.
But you know, like my past was
You
really
had to do that right in
violent.
the mic.
It's a tradition here. Cough to the mic.
What? You just got drinks and I didn't get one.
Do you want a drink?
I don't know if I want one from here.
I have great water.
Whoa.
I'm just kidding.
I would have got you water, but I thought you were anti-man. Yeah, I thought you smashed the patriarchy and shit, you know? So I was like, if she wanted water, she can...
What? One dog, one bone? The fuck?
Again, comedy.
Yeah. No, it's okay. I didn't mean to cough in the mic and make y'all deaf.
That's okay.
It's
You don't
okay.
listen anyway.
Fucking around.
Whoa. I've been listening this whole motherfucking time.
Yeah, what did she
I'm
say?
just kidding.
All of it?
Nothing. I didn't say anything.
All right. Any parting thoughts there, Chrissy?
Yeah, what's in the future? What are we doing?
What were we even supposed to talk about?
This
Well, I
is it,
think we
man.
covered it
This
all,
is it,
man.
This
But
is-
I
this is-
definitely want you back because it sounds like
Yeah.
you got a lot more to say, and I definitely have a lot more I want to hear. So.
I'm going to have to write down what I want to say next time because we were all over the
The
place.
women's show is much more organized than we are.
The women's show.
I want you on all of the shows.
Yeah,
I want you
when
on
they
all
can
the
get
shows.
together, when they can
like,
eventually get together.
Well, like, okay, so my parting thought is,
Yeah.
you know, we know drugs and violence is having a toll in our community and on its children. If anybody has the space or the time or the energy, there's a lot of kids that need foster homes right now. And a lot of people need respite care. Like, so, I live in a very tiny house, right? Smallest grandma house ever. And there's 9 of us in it right now. So I only have 4 kids. So we have a couple extra right now. And I used to do respite care for the tribe. And I can't right now because I'm doing the full foster care.
Yeah.
So if anybody even has an hour, 2 hours, go get your background check stuff done because people like me really need help. You know, like I do as much as I can, but it took 4 people to be me tonight.
yeah,
So I could come here.
right.
So if people could, and it's not a scary process. I know it seems scary, but the kids need us, man. You know, they're all a responsibility.
They can sew a lot.
They can clean really good. Just give them all
idea.
a baby wipe, $1 to whoever's
I'll get the farm going. We'll get the mine started.
Oh, go
Like
on.
7 dwarfs. Okay, this went really child labor. But I mean, okay, so
Yeah, if you got
community
extra space.
involvement and engagement. If
Yeah.
anybody has it, they don't even have to do it at their house. They could take the kids to the park or something.
So
Like,
is respite care like you just take them for a few hours?
you take them for a few hours,
Like babysitting.
or somebody will take them for the weekend, or it's whatever you can do,
Yeah.
really. So I used to do a couple hours. I do a weekend. Sometimes I have kids for a whole week. But now I've kind of gone into
Actually,
I'm a
full
mother of
time.
7 now.
Yeah, gotcha.
yeah,
That's pretty good.
yeah,
And a goat.
And a goat.
and a bunch of chickens.
Well, if
and
the
a
kids fuck
dog.
up, that's where the goat comes in. You gotta go in.
She's actually no, we're gonna call her Black Widow now. 'Cause she's a fucking murderer.
Nice.
little
Nice.
Yeah,
Satan.
but I mean that's really it because it's like I really don't want to see our kids leave the community.
Yeah.
You know, and I obviously didn't have the space, but I couldn't see any more of our kids leave.
Right.
I couldn't bear it. You know, and that's why I always say I'm like, you can talk about it, but be about it. So I talk about being who you need.
That sounds
when you're
harder
younger.
than standing at a protest line.
But it's
With a flag.
a subliminal message.
Yeah.
It's like what you really feel in your heart, you just gotta
Right.
do it. And one more parting thing was, my grandma used to say, if they're not listening, and she's talking about this about your siblings, about your people, about people in office, if they're not listening, you're gonna have to get mean. And it's not that you're mean, you know. Some people don't respond well to kindness.
Right.
But not the kids, though. You know what I mean? Like, the kids deserve all the love and kindness in the world. And
and patience.
I don't want to say our community's in crisis, but
Yeah, they use that too much.
no, I'm not gonna say that. But I'm gonna say we all really got to pick up the responsibility. It can't just be on a couple of people, and not everybody gets paid.
Right. And we
be
can.
helpers.
We have a lot of rich motherfuckers with big ass houses.
You know,
Take
like
an-
if
take
I
an
had
extra
a big
kid and-
ass house, you know, if
Yeah.
I had a big ass house, I would take all the kids.
If I was a millionaire, I would turn them into my own army.
Stop trying to be me.
That's your plan.
Already the plan.
That's her plan. She's gonna
I
raise.
told you, I'm raising activists. I'm
Yeah.
raising water protectors. I'm raising seed keepers.
Nice.
Because someday I'm going to be gone off this earth, and
Yeah.
all it's going to be left is some kids.
Well, let's hope it's not for a long time. Because
Well, if these motherfuckers would stop pulling up in my driveway and
Yeah.
giving me high blood pressure, I'll be here a lot longer.
it sounds like your family needs you to be the matriarch. So you need to be here for a long
It's hard
time.
being the oldest. Raising
Yeah,
my
but,
mom,
you know-
she don't listen either.
We love you, Colleen. Comedy.
She must have heard that. If you're not listening, get mean, because she's a little mean. Just kidding.
There you go. All right. Well, thank you so much for being a guest on our show. We'd love to have you back, not only with us, but we want to have you on Women's Dance, and we want you to get even more political as fuck on Sage Against the Machine.
I feel so bad even for saying anything. People always take it so personal.
They can.
Fuck 'em.
Hey, it's the first rule. Like, don't take anything
You
personal.
don't think we fucking...
It's the first agreement.
You don't think we've got a little controversy, doing our thing here?
Yeah, there was
Come
that time
on.
one of us ran for chief.
He got 15,000 votes.
Fuck, I would have
Minus
won.
a couple zeros.
Well, my market was the Longhouse people and the youth, and they didn't let me down.
There you go.
They were like, we don't vote, but we're voting for you. Oh
There you go.
We don't vote, but we're going to vote for our cousin.
my God.
We don't vote, but we actually do.
Cough, cough.
All right, man.
All right. Thanks, guys. I
Yes.
got to get home to my 800 kids.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So do
Got to put
I.
everyone to bed.
Thank you so much for tuning in to Aboriginal Outlaws. I'm Sugar Bear.
I'm Joshua.
Our guest today was... Say your name, please.
Chrissy
Chrissy what?
Jacobs.
There you go.
I'm like, why are
And
I got to
she
say my name?
makes these awesome TikToks. Follow her on TikTok.
I haven't been making them because I'm so fucking busy.
Well, she's got a bunch you can...
And the
you can go
kids
check
found
out.
them. I about died.
It happens.
Have you seen our
My kids
TikToks?
follow
Yeah, they're
us.
pretty good.
My kids follow us.
Yeah. When kids that I used to do daycare for found me on TikTok, I about wanted to fall under a rock. I was like, oh my God.
You're just lip syncing into the camera.
Just loving life. And I was like, and I'm embarrassed.
But yeah, like and subscribe on our YouTube channel. And be sure to look for us on TikTok. Go back and check out our old episodes of Women's Dance and Sage Against the Machine. And don't forget, on Spotify, we have 3 years of episodes you can go back on. Only a year and a half, 2 years maybe, on video on YouTube.
A year,
So-
just over a year.
Yeah, if you want to go check out everything we've ever done, that's on Spotify. We have about a year and a half on YouTube on video. And yeah, check out our TikToks. Follow us on Instagram, where we'll be posting our comedy shows, maybe some dates on our Facebook and
Yes.
whatnot. And hopefully we'll be doing some more community shows in the future. I know we've been talking with the fellas over at Brass, so we'll see how that pans out. But thank you so much for tuning in to the best voice in podcasting. I'm going to smack that horse until it stops.
The
baby.
premier indigenous podcast.
All right, Ona.